Dear students, welcome to the digital learning platform of Department of Collegiate Education. In previous sessions, number 7 to 18, we discussed the Unit 2 Simple Interest, Compound Interest and Installment Buying concepts in detail. This session number 19 is for revision of what we have learnt in Unit 2. So for detailed discussion, kindly refer to session number 7 to 18. Now let us begin with this revision session. The learning objectives of this session are to revise concepts of interest, types, related terms and computation thereof, to enable students to differentiate between simple interest and compound interest and computation thereof, to revise concepts of installment buying and computation of installment amount and rate of interest therein. So let us begin with the basic concepts of interest and related terms. Interest can be defined as the price paid by a borrower for the use of lender's money. Principal is the initial value of lending or borrowing. The rate of interest is charged for a defined length of time for use of principal, generally on a yearly basis, is known as to be rate of interest. It is usually expressed as a percentage. The amount is the final value of an investment. It is the sum total of principal and interest earned. The interest is paid by borrower to the lender periodically. Then there are two methods of computing interest. First one is the simple interest and the other is compound interest. So let us know the concept of simple interest first. Simple interest is the interest computed on the principal for the entire period of borrowing. It is calculated on a outstanding principal balance and not on the interest previously earned. It means no interest is paid on interest earned during the term of the loan. The formula to compute simple interest is 2 SI equals P into N into R, where P is the principal. Principal means the sum lent or borrowed. N is period in years, the period for which the loan is taken. R is the rate of interest per annum and SI is the simple interest. A equals P plus SI, where P is the principal, SI is the simple interest, A is the amount. Amount is the sum total of principal and interest payable by the borrower to the lender at the end of the period of loan. Let us take one example on computing simple interest. Let's say Sonia deposited rupees 50,000 in a bank for 2 years with the interest rate of 5.5% per annum. How much interest would she earn? How much would be the final value of deposit? So as we know, the formula to compute simple interest is SI equals P into N into R divided by 100. Here P is the rupees 50,000, the sum deposited by Sonia in bank. N is 2 years, the period for which the deposit is made. R is rate of interest which the bank pays annually, and it is 5.5%. So SI equals 50,000 into 2 into 5.5 divided by 100. So SI equals 50,000 into 2 into 5.5 is 5,50,000 divided by 100. So therefore simple interest is rupees 5,500. Now how much would be the final value of deposit? The final value of deposit is nothing but the amount, which includes principal and simple interest. So A equals P plus SI. So amount equals principal rupees 50,000 plus simple interest 5,500. So the amount is 55,500. Now let us know the concept of compound interest. When interest at the end of each fixed period is added to the principal and the amount thus obtained is taken as the principal for the next period, the interest obtained is called as compound interest. In compound interest, it is assumed that the interest due at the end of each period is not paid by the borrower but is retained by him as a further loan and is added to the principal. Formula to compute compound interest is to A equals P into bracket 1 plus R divided by 100 raised to N, where P is the principal, the amount of loan, N is the period in years, R is the rate of interest per annum, and A is the amount at the end of the loan period. CI equals compound interest equals A minus P. A is amount, P is principal. So let us take an example on compound interest. Raj deposited rupees 1 lakh in a nationalized bank for 3 years. If the rate of interest is 7% per annum, calculate the interest that bank has to pay to Raj after 3 years if interest is compounded annually. Also calculate the amount at the end of third year. So here Mr. Raj deposits rupees 1 lakh in bank for 3 years. So P is 1 lakh, N is period is 3 years, and the bank pays 7% rate of interest compounded annually. So R is 7%. So A equals P into bracket 1 plus R divided by 100 raised to N. So A equals 1 lakh into bracket 1 plus 7 divided by 100 raised to 3. So A equals 1 lakh into bracket 1 plus 7 divided by 100. 7 divided by 100 is 0.07 plus 1 is 1.07 raised to 3. Now to simplify this equation, we use laws of logarithm. So we will use the law of product and law of power. So law of product is log of m into n equals log of m plus log of n. Law of product is m raised to n equals n into log of m. So here log A equals 1 lakh. If you apply the laws of logarithm, this becomes log of 1 lakh. So when you apply law of product, the multiplication sign is replaced by the addition sign. So into becomes plus, then m raised to n 1.07 raised to 3, it becomes n into log of m. So therefore 3 into log of 1.07. So now log of 1 lakh, there are 6 digits in the integral part of the number. So that means 6 minus 1, 5 will be the characteristic, and mantissa for 10 is 00 plus this plus 3 into log of 1.07. So in 1.07 number there is only one integral digit. So 1 minus 1, 0 will be the characteristic, and mantissa for 107 is 0.0294. So now if you multiply 3 into 0.0294, it becomes 0.0882. So 0.0882 plus 5, this becomes log of A equals 5.0882. Now we need actual amount. This is the log form of a amount. So to get the actual number, we need to reconvert this log value into actual number using antilog table. Therefore A equals antilog of 5.0882. Now the antilog value for 0.0882 is 1226. Here the characteristic is 5. So therefore number of integral digits in the result will be 5 plus 1, 6 digits. So therefore 1226 becomes 1222600. So therefore the amount is 1,22,600. Now compound interest equals amount minus principal. Amount is 1,22,600 minus principal. Principal is rupees 1 lakh. So therefore compound interest for 3 years is 22,600. Now one more concept in the compound interest is the nominal and effective rates of interest. If you compound interest more than once a year, effective interest rate for the year will be more than the actual interest rate per annum. Effective rate can be defined as the equivalent annual rate of interest compounded annually if interest is compounded more than once a year. There are few occasions when interest is not necessarily computed annually. The interest may be compounded monthly, quarterly, semi-annually also. So therefore, if you compound interest monthly, then number of conversion periods in a year will be 12. If you compound interest quarterly, then number of conversion periods will be 4 in a year. If you compound semi-annually, then number of conversion periods in a year will be 2. And this effective rate of interest can be computed using this formula. So E equals 1 plus R divided by 100 raised to n minus 1, where n is the number of conversion periods in a year, R is the rate of interest per conversion period, and E is the effective rate of interest. So this is all about compound interest. Next, the last concept in the unit 2 is installment buying. Installment buying means a system under which a customer pays a part of the cash price on the date of purchase and the balance in equal monthly installments with simple interest. Part of the cash price paid by the customer at the time of purchase is known as down payment. The formula to compute simple interest is the same formula as we have used in the simple interest concept, but only difference is in simple interest the period was considered in years, but in case of installment buying the period will be in months. So therefore we use n as numerator and 12 as the denominator. So therefore SI equals P into N into R divided by 12 into 100, where P is the balance payable, N is equated period in months, R is rate of interest per annum, and SI is simple interest. Here N means equated period in months, so N is the N plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, here the small n stands for number of installments in the scheme of installment, number of monthly installments, and N is the equated period of n monthly installments. So we need to prepare this simple interest table to compute the rate of simple interest. This table starts with the cash price of the article or asset borrowed or asset bought on installment purchase. So cash price of the article less cash down payment or initial deposit, this has to be deducted. What remains is the balance payable. This is taken as P or principal in the simple interest formula. This balance payable is compared with the total amount of installments A. The difference will be paid as simple interest, A minus P. Here A is total amount of installments, so this is computed as I into number of installments. I means installment amount small n is number of installments. Then simple interest equals total amount of installments minus balance payable. SI equals A minus P. So let us take one example on computing simple interest under installment buying. A mobile set can be purchased for 19,000 cash or 9 monthly installments of rupees 2,500 each. The first installment is to be paid on the date of purchase. Find the rate of interest charged. Here, a mobile is being sold on installment basis. The mobile can be purchased for rupees 19,000 in cash with single payment, or it can be bought with 9 monthly installments of rupees 2,500. The first installment is to be paid on the date of purchase. So let us say the customer wants to buy this mobile phone on installment basis. In that case, the rate of interest payable by the customer will be, we have to compute. So since the first installment is payable on the date of purchase, the first installment payment is to be considered as down payment. So here smaller n number of installments will be then, since the first installment is to be paid on the date of purchase, it will be considered as a down payment. So remaining number of installments will be 9 minus 1 8, and amount of each installment is 2,500. So now the table showing simple interest. Cash price of the mobile is 19,000 less cash down payment. The first installment amount paid on the date of purchase 2,500. Balance payable by the customer is rupees 16,500. This balance payable of 16,500 is compared with the total amount of installments, which is I into n. I is amount of installment 2,500 into number of remaining installments. So 8 remaining installments. So 2,500 into 8 is 20,000. Now if you compare amount of installment with the balance payable, there is the excess amount paid by the customer to the dealer. This is known as simple interest. So 3,500 will be simple interest. Now we know that simple interest is rupees 3,500, P is 16,500, N is equated period in months. This is computed as N plus 1 divided by 2. So N is the number of installments. 8 number of installments plus 1 divided by 2. So 9 divided by 2, equated period will be 4.5 months. R is the rate of interest charged in the installment transaction. This we have to compute using simple interest formula. So now simple interest equals P into N into R divided by 12 into 100. Simple interest 3,500 equals 16,500 into 4.5 equated period in months into R. This we have to calculate, divided by 12 into 100. So now 16,500 into 4.5 is 74,250 into R as it is, divided by 12 into 100, 1200. Now 74,250 divided by 1200 is 61.875. Now 61.875 from right hand side to left hand side. Since between R and 61.875 there is a multiplication sign. If you bring it from right hand side to left hand side, it becomes denominator, or the function of multiplication is replaced by the function of division. So therefore 3,500 divided by 61.875. Now the rate of interest is 56.56%. That is 3,500 divided by 61.875. Therefore the rate of interest charged in the installment transaction is 56.56%. These are the references I used for making this presentation. Thank you everyone.